Another area hard hit, besides Wyoming, of course, is the Kentwood area. We've got 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey, who is live there on 44th Street. Joe, give us an idea of what you're seeing where you are.
Yeah, Leon, I want to step out of the way and show you the damage. This is the most significant damage we've seen throughout our travels this evening. That strip mall, that is located just north of 44th Street, west of Kalamazoo Avenue, and there's a larger strip mall here, but that's a smaller portion of it. And take a look at that roof. Kyle was talking about the winds coming through here and what may have happened, how to determine if they're straight line or tornado winds. But take a look at that roof. It appears from where we're standing right now, from our vantage point, that there's a lot of twisted debris in there, not just laying flat, not just lifted up and lifted back down, but that kind of twisted effect. It is hard to see under the darkness of night, obviously, but that is what it appears to be. A lot of emergency crews here. The big issue, obviously, nobody inside. Those businesses were closed. That is a fortunate part, but all through this area, we're hearing of power lines down. So they're telling people stay off the streets. Obviously, with the dark here, you can't see those power lines. You're liable to walk right into one. The other problem are gas leaks, numerous gas leaks, and that's why they have us so far back right now. They're waiting for the gas company to get here and shut the gas off to that location, and that's why they're standing by as well. And the other problem, again, the power outages. Those power lines down, people driving through where stoplights are out, people walking around neighborhoods, not seeing debris, not seeing those power lines. So a real dangerous situation, very precarious situation out here throughout South Kent County. And the officers I've talked to, anybody with a badge I've seen run into tonight is telling me just to tell people to stay off the streets. Don't get curious and drive down here. They've got enough problems. Just stay away. And again, the big danger is the power lines down, the gas leaks in the area, and consumers as well as Mishcon scrambling to get the gas shut off to these different damaged places. Now, I want to show you, we're at the strip mall. You see the one where the winds hit, the damage. And we're the larger strip mall that kind of runs the line down Kalamazoo to 44th. That was damaged too. You can't see it very well in the dark. I talked to the owner of one restaurant over here. He said he got away with just a couple of windows being knocked out. That is a fortunate thing. That doesn't look like a lot of damage to these particular stores, which would be just to the south of what you're seeing behind me right now. Again, some windows knocked out, some debris knocked against them, but that is where the storm really hit. That is where the winds hit, tearing that roof right off. Other concerns we had heard, there's an apartment complex across the street due east of us. They have a power outage there, but no apparent damage, no injuries. That's the other thing we're hearing, no injuries, and obviously all the emergency personnel want to keep it that way tonight. And again, got to reemphasize those power lines down. If you want to go out and walk around, you're really taking your life in your hands because you don't know where those lines are. And the gas leaks out here as well, causing major concerns, driving terrible. A lot of standing water on the roads as well. We've heard calls from emergency responders, cars going into water. The other problem, we heard an energized power line at one point into the water, and a car drove through that. They were sending a rescue personnel to check and make sure the occupants of that car were okay. So all these little dangers you don't think of, and this wind continues to pick up, so there's also a lot of blowing debris. I want to show you this police tape. When we pulled up to the scene here, we were told to stay behind the police tape. It was all the way up to the front of our car, and as soon as that wind picks up, it carries it several yards away, so that gives you an idea of the strength of the wind here as well. And we've also heard over the scanner just a few minutes ago, there's another front moving in, and that could bring some rain, so that's going to make the effort even tougher out here. But right now, again, they're working on making sure the gas is off and trying to stop any further collapse of that roof at the strip mall here, located just west of Kalamazoo Avenue, north of 44th Street. No injuries reported right now, but they've got quite a mess on their hands, as they do throughout the southern Kent County area. Leon, we'll send it back to you.
Now, Joe, we see some cars in that area. Any indication whether or not there were any people in that building when all this happened?
It's a business. We're under the assumption, and the police are under the assumption, the lights were out, the doors were locked, that there were nobody in there. Obviously, they want to go in and check through there, make sure as well, and they've probably done that already because some of the crews have actually left, some of the emergency crews. It appears right now as they're pretty much on standby, waiting for that gas and power to be shut off and to make sure nobody else gets in there as well. But we're hearing no injuries right now.
Okay, Joe LaFurgey live for us in Kentwood, one of our many crews that is out in the field working to assess the damage that we saw move through because of this storm. And here we are in the 24-hour tracking center where the warning first went out, and here we are to kind of wrap up our coverage. Thankfully, we're sort of in the clear at this point, but obviously a lot of concern about what we're going to see when the sun comes out here. Kyle.
Right. A lot of cleanup. Still a lot of folks without power. Still dangerous out there because there are power lines dangling on streets and sidewalks. We know this. Consumers' energy is getting out there cleaning that up. But the best thing you could do is just stay inside and watch our coverage at this point until we get the benefit of the day of light of day coming up tomorrow. Here's an update with Storm Track Live. Yeah, the worst is definitely behind us, but we still have some rain coming our way here, especially for Kent County here. And some of these thunderstorms may strengthen a little bit. Storm Team 8 meteorologist Matt Kirkwood is joining us, and we're going to be monitoring this round the clock here overnight tonight, as well as getting a professional set of eyes on that storm damage so we can determine whether or not that was indeed a tornado or just straight line winds moving through Kentwood. Right now, the only severe thunderstorm warning is up for Clinton County. Also, Gratiot County under a severe thunderstorm warning. The green you see on your map, the green outlines are flash flood warnings that continue overnight. We've seen just torrential amounts of rain, as much as 4 to 6 inches of rain in a period of a couple of hours for northern Montcalm County. So I suspect when people get up tomorrow, we may see some washed out roads, especially dirt roads and culverts may be washed out. That could be a dangerous situation. Make sure you're driving slowly and carefully if you're on a rural road in Montcalm County tomorrow morning, because I believe that is a threat. Also, we're looking at that radar data. We've declared that it was either a severe microburst or a possible tornado that moved through Kentwood. If it was a tornado, based on just the damage that I'm seeing so far and what we saw on radar, could be in the neighborhood of an EF1 tornado, and we haven't had that strength tornado since 2001 in Kent County. So this is indeed a rare event if that was a tornado, but that's something we won't know for sure until tomorrow morning.
And a lot of folks expect that if there's going to be a tornado, we're going to hear sirens, we're going to see tornado warnings. That's not what happened here. Would that surprise you if this was a tornado and we didn't get that sort of alert from the National Weather Service?
This was an exceptionally tricky situation because I looked at all the scans of radar, looking at the wind speeds, and this came out of nowhere. We had 40, 45 mile per hour wind gusts on one scan, and then 4 or 5 minutes later, we had a 90 mile per hour wind gust on radar in that scan. And so you wait until the next scan comes in, the National Weather Service puts out that severe thunderstorm warning, not recognizing the tornado threat there because that had already passed. And so this was almost a game where we were playing catch up the whole time, not only us, but the National Weather Service, because it hit so fast and it was literally impossible to predict.
Right. And another reason why the thunderstorm warning is something that folks have to take seriously as well. A lot of people think as long as there's no tornado warning, not a major situation, but this obviously proof to the contrary.
We have more deaths from severe thunderstorms than we do in tornadoes, and then we do tornadoes in Michigan. So yeah, when you hear those severe thunderstorm warnings come across your phone or on TV or the alerts or even sirens in your community, got to take that seriously.
All right, Kyle Underwood, thank you for your work tracking this for us tonight. Of course, the lights won't be turning off here. We'll be tracking this throughout the night as the storm system moves its way out of our system. We've got our crews fanned out throughout the viewing area, especially in those areas hardest hit. They are already working to put together our coverage for 24-hour News 8 Daybreak. That starts in just about 3.5 hours here at 4:30 in the morning. Our crews are already responding as we continue to cover the storm that swept through this area and caused some serious damage, and we continue to cover how it will impact you and your families as you head out the door. Be sure and stay with us on woodtv.com throughout the night, and of course Daybreak starts at 4:30. For now, from the 24-hour tracking center, I'm Leon Hendricks. Now back to regular programming.